Hi, everybody. Oh, my goodness. So I'm just going to kind of check in and see, since you can now hear me. I see all of you here, and I'm so grateful you're here. Thank you so much. I love all of you. I'm so grateful that you're here. Hi, Donna, Vicky, Tracy, Mindy, Dachin. There's Andrew. Oh, I'm so happy you're all here. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so, and I also need to check in with, with Laura. Laura, do you hear me? Are you on the call? Okay. But everybody else can hear me. Either Laura is not actually on the call, which is interesting. I thought she was. Okay. Well, 4 questions, that's what we wanted in moderation. So, but let's just see what happens here. I'm so happy you're all here on the call. Okay, so hi, everybody. Holy whoa, right? I know and love all of you. And sometimes what it takes for us all to converge, but I'm so grateful you're here and that you make it on a Wednesday at 11 Pacific time. Thank you. So welcome to November. How y'all doing? Whoa. Okay. So sometimes when you're dealing with the technology stuff, it just is a little much with the getting grounded again. So I'm pulling myself back here so that we can align together and have a wonderful monthly November call, 2017. Wow. It is 11:11 on 11/1 Pacific Standard Time right now, 2017. And I'm riding the waves with you all too. I think for those of you who get my email, you know that I kind of been sharing some of that too, that we're all in it and we're riding the waves. So here we are. I'm super grateful that you're here, trying to get myself grounded in this moment to be connecting. Let's see. You all know that at this moment, I actually had intended on doing this a little different because I wasn't 100% sure if Laura was going to be able to be in. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's not going to be able to be in. She's concerned it will disrupt the login. She's in Guatemala, the world traveler. So we are going to just do our thing today. What I would like to ask you before we really fully get started is if there's any questions that you just feel like right now you already know you have, like you would love to have a conversation about this topic, or something is up for you right now today, or you woke up with something, type that down right now as I'm getting started and before we move into the full space where I'm channeling. If there's anybody who has any thought or question, if you can give that to me now and I can read that out loud and we can bring that into the space. There's been this idea for a while now that maybe I will become a channeler who opens her eyes like Esther, or I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. And wouldn't it be cool to read things and then let them answer? I mean, that's a whole new ballpark idea for me. I thoroughly enjoy not being able to be participating. Okay, so that's that. Any questions? Anybody? Questions? Mindy, you look good though. Thank you, honey. I feel very puffy today, just being honest. Okay. Oh, you guys are so cute. Saying hi to everybody. I adore you. Okay. Donna says, Archangel Michael, we need some help, please. Yeah. Well, you said that earlier when we were getting ready to set up. My eyes are a little puffy, guys. Okay. Thank you, Tracy, for this. Andrew says this. There's been an intense energy for the past few days. Anyone else noticed? Thoughts? Well, boy, I sure have. And I think we all have. That's a good conversation. Just all the energies. For those of you who didn't make it, there's a couple of you that were, it's one of you, that were at the group channeling that we had in person on Sunday night in Woodland Hills, which was amazing. Really, really amazing group. I think there was about 20 of us there, and it was awesome. And they talked about so many wonderful things. A little later, some of those things kind of filter in through me, and I don't get the exact words that they present unless I listen to it too. But I get the essence and the feeling and little hits and little sparks that drop in. And so there was some wonderful, wonderful conversation, and that channeling was excellent. And it's all about what is happening. It was all about what is happening right now for us. And we are all going through huge, huge change. And so I don't know. I'll see. Nobody seems to have any direct questions. So I guess I'll just have to get into it. How about that? I know you guys are ready for some from Osairah and some connection. So, well, it looks like possibly Laura just joined us. Laura, are you there? I see her beautiful picture on my screen. I don't know if you guys are seeing that too. So I've been working out how to work webinar here, Webinar Jam, and we're kind of fine-tuning in the last couple of months have been going on, and we are actually fine-tuning even more. So this is going to be a lot more smooth and streamlined. I promise in this next month and months to come. So, okay, that's enough for today. I like to play and do it different every time. We don't have to stay like by rote and do the same thing every time. We are a private membership only site right now when we do these calls. And so for those of you who are on the membership who are not actually live with us, which there are a lot of people who are signed up for the membership who cannot make it at 11 o'clock. So there's all of you here. Thank you so much for being here live with me. And then there's a lot of people who aren't live and who are who are going to listen to the recording back. So thank you for bearing with this beginning part of this live webinar jam. We are and have been getting things right. Now, I don't like to do things every single time exactly the same way. That's a little boring. So adding a little mix today, I'm going to pull a card. And those of you who work with me on a regular basis in my mentorship, we often pull cards, whether or not I'm in person with you or I'm over on Zoom with you. Sometimes we do that on on just one-on-one sessions. But today I feel like pulling a card as kind of one of the beautiful keepers of the light, and maybe possibly even a theme that maybe Osairah would like to connect with and talk to us about. So these are the wonderful keepers of the light cards, and I am going to pull just one, and wonderful. Okay, this is an awesome card. Look at how beautiful she is. Lady Venus. And it says, downloads and understanding. How much more perfect could that be? Downloads and understanding, Lady Venus. And then at the bottom it says, truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So there she is, you guys. Lady Venus. And I will actually have to say personally, I am a Taurus with a Libra rising. I have got a lot of Venus in my chart. There we are. How beautiful. Lady Venus, downloads and understandings. Now, let's see if it's short enough for me to read. It is. It says, Lady Venus is the twin flame of Sanat Kumara and is said to reside in the astral realm surrounding the planet Venus. The light beings of Venus, known as Venusians, are now coming to light workers on Earth to help them with their connections, understandings, and capacity to share divine love. Lady Venus is a wonderful keeper of the light to call upon when you are trying to forge a connection with the heavens or finding it difficult to understand the signs, symbols, and guidance that are being sent to you physically or through meditation. She also allows us to connect with or focus on particular energies so we can understand them more. If you are studying a spiritual subject at this time, call on Lady Venus to help you. This is pretty interesting. Extended message. Hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, and having the sense that beings are visiting you in your sleep are all signs that you are receiving downloads from heaven. Whenever this is happening, spend some time in contemplation so that you can ask the universe what you really need to know. This card also represents downloads of information being received by your mind. Know that the universe sees you as capable of holding soul-centered information that will help you and others reach a new level of understanding. That's a beautiful and perfect card for us today. So I think we should get to it. Okay, one more time, you guys, right? Lady Venus. That's a beautiful card. What they said too in there, if you're hearing high-pitched noise and seeing sparks of light and things like that, that's actually what was my first experience in learning, in opening up as a channeler and as a psychic, intuitive, and medium. And I talk a lot about that when I teach my workshops and point people in the direction of paying attention to those signs. Most of you who are on this call already know a lot of that, or who are on the replay who already know a lot of that. So, but yes, I think we always need our little, unless you're doing it every day, like I do literally all the time. So, but it's good to be in memory of that to keep yourself connected. Okay, so I would like to just have us all kind of gather. If you would not mind, close your eyes. And let's just imagine that we are a circle of light. However many of us are here in this moment, physically present, and then adding to that beautiful circle of light when others listen and watch this on the replay. Taking in a deep, slow breath, whatever feels comfortable to you, and letting it go. And taking in another deep breath, and letting it go. And one more for 3. And letting it go. Breathing in all the highest information and love and light and assistance on the greatest, most divine light levels, and letting go of anything that does not serve us. So in this moment, I'm calling all of our attention to unite and to focus in the light, in the great connection that we all share, which is timeless and eternal. May our hearts be unified, and may this moment be perfect, as it always is. Okay. Getting very hot, that's how it goes. So, we will let Osairah come in, and we will see what they have to share. And I will see you all soon. Thought I would check one more time to see if there's anything. Okay. Indeed, greetings to you, dear ones. We are that one known as Osairah, and we are, in fact, overjoyed to be in this alignment with you. We are recognizing you. We are recognizing the way in which this configuration aligned. We are recognizing each and every one of your vibrational frequencies. We will tell you we are registering your soul signatures, the way that the emanation is merging, connecting from various points of what you would say the grid. We are recognizing the alignments of your souls. We are happy for this connection. We are also recognizing we will say the wherewithal, the deliberation, the energies that it took to get you here, each one of you, in particular, a few of you that work real hard to make this happen. And we say thank you very much for that connection, for that presence in the present moment with us as this transmission is occurring. We are recognizing to say that this is which we will call to say to you, a building of energy at this time. This is something kind of along the questions or the conversation earlier already having been started, but there is an energetics that is building. We have been talking about it for a while now, and we are recognizing even in this day, in these next few days, in the next 3-4 days, even we are recognizing even as you come to your full moon in your earthly experience. We are recognizing the intensity expansion happening. We are recognizing too this timeline as this, you will call it month of time, the ways in which you are all asking yourself to step up. And what we really mean by that is actual. You are actually all pulling yourself to the next level in your own life. You are actually requiring and calling yourself up to the next level. When we see this, we would liken it to be that you are, we have said this a number of times in the recent days, that you are making a trek up a mountain to claim your divinity as you step on the precipice at the top, at the summit of your own experience for this particular mountain that you are climbing. And we want you to visually experience, to think of the idea of all of your human friends, all of those who are around you, to whatever degree their own soul has calling them, they are also walking their own mountain. But you look around and judge not their mountains, because each and every soul has a very different mountain to walk upon. Though ultimately, if you were to break it all down, it is one and the same. It is just that each incarnation you choose something differently. So differently, sometimes very much the same, sometimes similar themes. And in this way, you are in an expansion for your soul's growth. There is an awareness at this time that many of you are being put, we will say, through the tests. There it is. Some of the words put through the ringer, really calling yourself up. We are recognizing putting through tests. You're being tested. There's a lot of what you are self-generating as testings for yourself to show yourself how it is that you can authentically hold a vibration that expands you, grows you, accelerates your consciousness. And really, that is one of the points we wish to talk about this day, consciousness, the way in which your awareness is expanding, the way in which, though you look upon the world experience of your creation outside of yourself and you say, this is my life, this is my experience, this is the reality. And what we would say is, what is the reality more than what is external of you is always what is the consciousness within. And we know to a certain extent that can be that you are not always aware of how it is that is really the thing. The traps, you could say, are the ways in which you get triggered outside of yourself, and that grabs your attention. But if you are one who is, like many of you here, even in this moment, are paying attention to how it is you are being pulled outside of yourself, and then you're bringing consciousness to that pulling, you are actually doing the reflection dance that is so necessary at this time. The reflection dance is ultimately how you dance with the world experience that you are co-creating, where it is that you call yourself victim and where it is you take personal responsibility. This is another aspect of what we would say is a big chunk of importance at this time, which is within consciousness, there is the awareness to personal responsibility. Consciousness isn't just some super expanded awareness of godness or the eternal creation or source energy. Consciousness is an expansion itself with all of that, and it too has a level. When we say it's not quite right. Let us see how we can say that better. Consciousness itself, that's a trap there. Let us see how how we can relanguage this. There is within consciousness that is the expansion of life generating upon life, which is asking it to grow, which is life having its way with life itself. There is actually within that sort of a response ability. Do you see that? There's languaging with you for that. There is a response ability within life that is literally creation itself, which is actually consciousness itself. And that consciousness is you. So when that consciousness is you, pulling yourself into the forefront of taking responsibility. So what does that mean, Osairah? Well, when you are in the creation of your life, when you are creating experience, internal first always, and then it shows up for you externally, we would ask you, with what you are experiencing, are you at the same time, simultaneously, or at some point recognizing, oh, that's right, I would serve this experience within and without even greater, for an even greater expansion if I take responsibility for all of it. This is a very challenging piece sometimes for humans when they are experiencing the, quote, effects of the world. Especially for those of you at times where you feel extraordinarily empathic, when you feel a whole lot that is what seems to be in some ways not even yours, and you feel it and you don't know how to reconcile this idea of responsibility. Well, this is not mine, Osairah. I walked into a room and I felt all this stuff and I took it on. And we would say to you, yes, and there is also a way that your response ability is still your own in a physical body as a soul self to walk into a room, register that you took it all on, and now what? So we say this, and now what, is a wonderful catchphrase for you at this time. When you are living your life, when you are in manifestation and co-creation of your daily experience, check in with yourself on a regular basis. What is happening within? What is happening within? Track yourself. We are registering to this conversation that our beloved channel is having with many human beings at this time. And some of that happens to be this idea of the experience of following your inner experience more so than you even are experiencing the outer at times, because then you can see what is really here and happening within, and then you can say, and now what? Because see, if you are in this place with yourself authentically, really registering what it is you are self-generating, you will become personally responsible for that which you are co-creating external of you, which is the manifestation of what is inside. So you come to this plane, we've talked about this so many times, but we like to remind you that you come to this plane as the soul self that you are for the soul's highest expansion through the living embodiment of a vehicle vessel, physical form body, to experience the 3D game that you are loving. And so when by doing that, you actually wake yourself up in the process by the expansion internally, you will be a collaborative co-creator in a conscious way, which means there is only personal responsibility in creation. Now, when we pause, it's because we know that it was a lot. And some of you will need to listen to that again. And we say, please do. Because one thing that comes up for our human friends is this difficulty. And we want to break it down with you at this time a bit, if we can, to vibrationally synthesize certain words to land where your consciousness is, to open and flick on the door, the light switch, to wake you up personally where you are with this piece, which is there is a victim within you, victim consciousness that is within people, and we will say within the whole of this experience in being in the third dimension. And in this way, in the third dimension, you take on a vibration of that victim mentality ideas. It literally is a generation energy that is generated, and it is the kind of what we would say thought stream that human beings can then plug into when there is something that shows up in this experience that they feel is not what they would have created, that not what is a miscreation. And that is where we stop always. And we remind you, there is never a miscreation. And that is also very hard for some of our human friends. We have had what you would call very strong conversations with some of our human friends who wanted to debate us about this feeling or idea that they were carrying within them, that if this is an experience where we're continuously generating our own experiences, Osairah, well, then I would never have chosen to experience this or gone through that, or these children or these people would never have chosen to have that tragedy happen to them and unfold. And we know we have hit on this a number of times, but we are bringing it back to this because you are seeing at a much more dramatic scale, because of your information age, especially this in action in the world. You are seeing how it is that life is generating itself from that which is within humanity, within consciousness, within your Earth's energy, within the grid, within the awakening of the ages that is happening perfectly on this planet at this time. And this way that you are seeing it external of you makes it more, how should we say, amplified. So there is all of this happening outside of yourself, and you can easily, like some of our friends who like to argue the point with us, say, but that we would never have wanted, or those people would never have wanted, or I absolutely never wanted to experience that thing which was so horrific. And we bring it back to the spiritual principles. This is not, as some were saying, we have had these conversations recently too, this idea of spiritual bypassing. We're not using this to fluff up so that you skim over your reality. We are not saying that at all. We say to you, wake yourself up within the reality. Know and trust and witness to see that all things that come through, that happen ultimately, even if it takes a while, even if it takes not you ever knowing or someone else not ever knowing, from the vantage point of a higher perspective of existence, where life is life no matter what. There is all creation that is happening perfectly, that there is no miscreations, and that this temporary experience of being human, which you feel in your physicality and your emotional body and your psychic body and all your bodies, you feel is the realest, the most real, and the most difficult. And this is so awful, or it is so beautiful. All of this is so very, very temporary that if you can remember some of that while you are witnessing and going through all these layers of experience as a human being, you will lighten your own load. You will lighten your own compactness. There's the word compact. We are seeing compactness in people, the density in people, the density in your feeling body, in your emotional bodies. And this density is not here just to be felt as density. It is there to get your attention so that you may wake yourself up at a wider level, so that you will let go, release, so that sometimes it is true that the pain comes up to be felt as such a great and even what you would call horrific experience. And it is therefore your transmutation. It is therefore what you have come to discover about who you really are, what you really are, how you really are. That is not your allness, that is an experiential part. So, when we are witnessing talk about this, we want to return for a moment to the consciousness aspect. How is it that you are and can be more in a conscious way, a waking yourself up way? Well, one of the things that you can do in a physical life of a body is pay attention to what you are actually experiencing as a being. Most people are slightly removed. You are not quite present with yourself. You are not fully in the moment. There is a running dialogue happening even while you are looking at someone and having a conversation. We would say if you could slough off, if you could wash away, if you could push out, if you could set it aside, anything that does not hold you to the present moment of experience, as if you were savoring it for it was your very last drop. If you can do that, you become so much more present. The field of consciousness will begin to expand for you. You will feel the field differently. This is what happens for you when you are in meditation. When you get into silence, what do you experience? Even if the head is running, even if the thoughts are running, in time there becomes more and more potential quiet. Even if you are sitting in a room, which most of you don't sit alone in a room in silence for all that long. Most people get up, they are looking at their devices, they are turning on sounds, whether or not that is music or television. They are needing something to pull them outside of themselves to feel okay in this world. This is why we return you always in our conversations all of these years to say to you, meditate, 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 meditate. Meditate only means get within, become silent. In the space of the room that you are being, become in silence, because when the space of silence starts to amplify, it literally becomes consciousness. And as you slow down and quiet, even not necessarily needing to be silent, just being quiet, the field begins to expand. The consciousness around you begins to expand. Some say, even we will pull that piece in, that is where God talks to you. Well, that is helpful, and that is a way to think about it. And it is also true that that is where you become conscious. When you are constantly pulled outside of yourself from other than the consciousness field, you are, how should we say that? More than that. Seems to be, some of that could be called distraction. That distraction is what is keeping many of you fragmented from the present moment. So please remember to pay attention to how it is that you are bringing consciousness into your life every day, which is in a way where you tap into the invisible realm so that you remember the empowerment of life that runs through this physical body called your soul's essence, the higher aspects of you, the essence of you, the life force, the source eternal that flows through and as you. Now, when we also speak to you about how it is that the world is reflecting this outer experience, when you are living through times that seem to be, we will say, challenging. We would like for you to know that you have, and we remind you of, big smile, big smile, big smile, big smile, big smile, big smile, that you have done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times before. And we recently will call in this question that some of us, our friends, have said, but why would we do that, Osairah? Why would we just keep coming back and coming back and coming back to experience what seems to be difficulties and seems to be tragedies and seems to be harsh experience of life in even what you have said, Osairah, is the dark ages? Ha! And we say to you, and we have used this before, so we will share it again. It is like when you are a toddler and you climb up to the slide and you are standing at the slide, and maybe you don't fully exactly know what you're going to get every single time you climb up there. You get a little excited and then you let go and you slide down the slide, and it is a free fall, and it is exhilarating, and it is scary, and it is a mystery, and it is all of that. And as a toddler, you don't even know that every time will be like that. So each and every time you go up and again, up and again, up and again, and it is brand new each and every time, but you kind of have a little bit of a memory of the excitement that it will be and that it is. And so we say that is essentially why you choose again and again and again, because you get to have all of that. And some of you, we can hear you say, but why would we do that again and again and again if we keep just doing it again and again and again? Because the mystery itself is so exciting, and because you amplify your ability to expand consciousness, not just what we would say as a soul, but as a whole. You are not separate from the oneness of all creation. And that is where our human friends, because you are in what seems to be this duality experience of separateness, the egoic stance holds a firm foundation to hold you into a reality that keeps your survival going for this experience. And you believe, well, I'm just a small part in this big oneness, but this does not mean I'm the oneness. And we're here to remind you that you are the wholeness of life. You are the oneness of creation. You are the source of all things as well. So you are adding in to the whole pot of that which you really and fully and totally are. And part of the journey, and this is the key that sometimes some of our human friends maybe never even get to hear throughout a lifetime, but we are here reminding you again and again and again. You come to do it so that you can wake yourself up and remember while you are in a physical body. Those of you who have been having the ears to hear and the eyes to see and the heart to pull you towards the ways of your own expansion, the ways of the light, the ways of the expansion of even looking into the shadow and the darkness and pulling and healing and doing whatever it takes to expand and accelerate yourself, are the ones who have come to wake themselves up more and more each and every time you are in a physical body. So here you are in this timeline, so heavily focused on being that which you are in this lifetime, calling yourself with a name, calling yourself with a vocation, calling yourself to family members, calling yourself to experiences, and this higher aspect of yourself, for we see it in each one of you. We see it for the human beings who make their way towards us because you are a part of us. We say that you are actually here in a physical lifetime, so many of you, to be the masters of this lifetime, to have expansion in this lifetime. Check yourself, though, we hear to say. We hear them, thank you. We hear them say to you all, there's a few masters in the room, you could say. And with the 12 of us, there is a force of light here in this moment to actually hold quite a large vortex of light here in this moment for you all, to connect to you wherever you stand, where you sit, where you hold your beingness, to remind you that there is a way for you to do this, where the ego is in its place, in its safe place, in its, you need it still. To a very certain kind of degree, all beings who are incarnated, no matter their state or level, if you are going to quantify it, stages of awakening or expanded consciousness or super consciousness, however you want to call it, some of those you say, the light enlightened ones. Well, even the ones who actually and truly are actually embodied as an enlightened being or an actual master, there are many, and most of them you do not actually actively know in your physical world, what you would say in the population, how should we say that? In the world stage. But there are those, and those ones who are actually enlightened have to a certain fragmentation, certain level, a piece, however it is, maybe it is a sliver, maybe it is a dot on a pinhead of the egoic construct, in order to keep the body while the consciousness is here in the third dimensional form. What is happening as well, and so we will go back to that happening as well, just a moment, please. 12 of us are having conversation to make it all work. Here we go. We'll say, and so as you are pulling yourself into that place where you become more and more aligned and more awake and more aware, you will also become more and more aligned and awake and aware to what is not that. And that is what this time is about. Notice that you cannot expand fully into the light until you start to really look at the shadows and the deeper parts. And this is literally up for you all as a whole on this planet. Some of you would connect to, we know our beloved channel likes it too and plays with that arena of astrology and how it is that your planetary system, the way it is vibrating and circling and assisting you all, actually assisting your consciousness, is bringing you to a place where you are being essentially kind of what we would say pulled under to the underworld, the underbelly of those things that need to rise to the top so the clearing can happen, so the fires of transmutation can happen. So this is what you collectively are in. And as you keep moving forward to that expansion, there is a fifth dimensional realm. You are moving through certain levels of fourth dimensional consciousness, even right now, as a whole of humanity. Not all beings talk about this. Not all beings are accurate in the way that that is happening upon this planet. We are not going to say that we are the only ones who know how that is working, but we will say to you at this time that the way the fourth and fifth dimensions are moving through third dimensional time-space continuum is that there is a level of consciousness that is rising. And when truth truth is spoken. Truth is truth. It will be truth now. It will have been truth 100,000 years ago, and it'll still be truth 100,000 years into what you would call a timeline of future. So truth is ultimately truth. When we say to you that you are moving into an expansion, it is because that is already in existence. It is already truth. And in order for you to have the experience of that, you play the game with the dimensional frequencies moving through your earthly plane, literally playing out the dramas the way that you do. It is like when you go to sleep. We've used this before. Many people do. It's like when you go to sleep, you lay your body down. The body gets this rest. The vehicle gets to be parked, like going into the garage. And the vehicle gets to regenerate and assist itself. And you, the allness of you that has always been there and always will be and never dies and only transforms and literally is energetic connection to all that is life itself, lifts off and does what it does, you do, which is to very often do what we would call different dimensional living. In the physical body, you are resting, and the consciousness body, you are doing different lifetimes experiences. You are claiming, you are reclaiming, you are experiencing, you are challenging yourself, you are helping and assisting, you are expanding, you are going back for teachings, you are opening up new realms, and you are assisting others, you are going to different planets. This is all actual. So when you return to the physical body in the what we would say is called from the sleep time, a lot of you choose to not remember that all, but you are pulling it into the physical for the assistance at a more conscious level. So do pay attention to your dream times if you can. And remember that those fourth and fifth dimensions are also affecting your third dimensional reality. So you're playing in a bigger field than you have ever played in before. That is not to say that in previous timelines, though simultaneously happening, do not have those experiences as well. They do, and they did, and they do. And those of you who are still even simultaneously participating in those realms, who could see and feel that, knew that then or as well, in those timelines, we will just talk about it as it is, a linear fashion, because it makes it easier for our human friends and us to speak about it in your language, to say that, yes, you were even thinking of it, that there was realms of existence even then, but you knew how to access them differently. There has been a great sleep that has been upon you all. And so you are waking in that sleep in the third dimension, and we say to you, you are not necessarily the first wave, but for your, how should we say that? Camaraderie ideas around being those of you who are ascending and awaking, who are here for the consciousness revolution, who are here for the consciousness expansion, and you came for the great show of the rising of all things called the new worlds, essentially, and the divine feminine force, reclamation. This is here for you, for your consciousness to be awoken to, for you to literally see it, for you to literally call it out, for you to literally pull in from previous timelines, be they sacred ancient times where you carried great knowledge, where you are a great seer, however that is, to pull that into this lifetime and use that as a part of who you are too. To remember your multidimensionality is an assistance that if you allow that to be the expansion that you experience, you will wake yourself up in consciousness. To recognize you are more than the physical body and study these things and integrate these things and slough off those things and move into the consciousness on a regular basis of who am I really? What am I really doing here? What is this reaction about? How is it that I can actively, honestly, truly, authentically, with integrity, take personal responsibility for all that I am creating? Where is it that I hear and feel that victimhood? Because that piece is a part of the whole. And if I really take personal responsibility for that piece, I affect the whole. So how is it that you are amplifying this third dimensional consciousness, which is really a multidimensional consciousness? That is what we are here for at these times, to really impart to you. You are doing the basics. You are in your life and you are doing your bookkeeping. You are taking care of your home. You are making changes in your life. You are helping the physical body. You are feeling your emotions. You are offering your service and your attunements. You are actually actively saying, what is it that I am here for truly? How is it that I can attain to be more aligned and awakened? These are the tenets and the principles components of a multi-dimensional consciousness asking itself to integrate and fully and wholly wake up. And you would not be here in this moment listening to us, taking in these transmissions, these downloads, these codes of light that are anchored on this planet and who are coming from high in different realms to assist you with all the energetic realms that are here on this planet, because there is more than just the third, fifth, fourth, and fifth. And even now, big smile, big smile, big smile, because here we are. We move through this physical body of our beloved channel with a grace and ease that at this time now is so much more beautiful and smooth, and it was always coming. And so here is the greatest opportunity for that expansion to offer you, even in this moment, to be in receivership. Allow yourself to know you are always in receivership, to be the receivership, to say, I am a vessel of receivership, because I am a multidimensional consciousness that desires to expand for the ascension of the consciousness that is through this body, but is in all timelines and is part of the oneness of creation of the all that exists. And so, well, in this moment, we say that was a lot. And many of you are going in and out of hearing all of this, and good thing for the replays, we say, because this is a lot. And we will tell you, to our dearest friends here in this moment and who will listen again, we will say this to you. In these years, in these last few years especially, and in this last year, and in these last months, and in these months to come, and these years to come, we will say very, 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 very specifically the next 7 years, very particularly the next 7 years, our particular ways of conversing and assisting and downloading and offering the codes of light, and the ways in which we will serve our beloved humanity, friends, in what we call our past experiences, is we will be doing this at a more accelerated rate. So what you hear from us, Osairah, the family of light, and many of the divine masters who come through not only our beloved channel, but others, will be at a higher vibrational rate of information. So it does behoove you to listen regularly, because it attunes you to hear and feel, sense, know, and things that used to not make sense to you will literally, how should we say that? Like a Rubik's Cube, come into the perfect side. Ha! You will get it. And this is what you are here for. You are here to get it. You are here to snap in place. You are here to get it. You are here to download it. You are here to say it, offer it, give it, be it too. So as you allow yourself to be that one in an expansion, you become the one of the one that you all are for all of the other ones. This is the beautiful play. This is the beautiful game. The consciousness. We are there it is. Oh, there it is. For when we think to say to you that as you are expanding in your multidimensionality, you will experience new things that are going to take a moment sometimes. Maybe a little more sometimes. Be patient with yourselves. Be kind and gentle with this beingness that is saying, yes, 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 I will go, I will do it, and I will take on that, and I will remember this, and I will forget that, and I will ask them to help me with this, and I will do that, and I will really am coming for that. And that is the awakening. Because in thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands upon lifetimes, you do it incrementally and you gain all aspects. But those lifetimes are not far from this breath right now where you breathe in a physical body. Those lifetimes are cumulatively a part of the allness that you are. And that is why there is no separation. That is why you can look upon your brother and know and experience the truth. I am that. No matter what you think, dear ones. And we have taught this one. We used to speak about this many, many years in what you would say the group experience and the personal experience in personal group experiences. We would start the conversation because our human friends would struggle with the idea of, but I would never be that, Osairah. I could not do that. I could not be that murderer. I would never do those things. Those things. And though we know that at certain level within you, in this physical alignment of the body system and the thought system and the reality you came to experience, that is essentially potentially true. And we would say that even all of you have a place where anything is possible. Anything. You come into the human experience, and that is a part of the human experience. If it is not a complete grand design within the scope, you probably won't. But here's what we ask our human friends to do within, is to ask yourself at a true deep level, if I was in the exact perfect storm, the right exact experience to push me, could that be possible? Is there anywhere within me that thing that I am judging outside of myself is not me possibly too? There is so many examples for you to look at that idea out in the world. Play that game for a moment and see what you find. That right there, that part of your consciousness, as you begin to ferret it out, and even if you say, yes, well, this is very difficult for me to acknowledge. This is very difficult, more than difficult, excruciating. I can't do it, but I will do it to say that if I was perfectly and completely and utterly, completely, truly honest, there's a piece of me that potentially could be that. The moment you do that, dear one, you free yourself from that. The moment you do that, you free yourself from the judgment of that. The moment you do that and you free yourself from the judgment of that and the other, which is you, this energetic grid of consciousness changes. And judgment changes. And victimhood and perpetrator changes. Energetically, you are all in this timeline, especially now in this year of time to come and in these months to come, you are all looking at that within yourself. Be not afraid to look. You are in the haunted house at Disneyland, they say. You are looking in the mirror at the smoke and mirrors game of yourself. And if you can just say, that's right, this is just the smoke and mirrors game, and he is playing his part perfectly, and I'm playing my perfect part in the mirror dance that we are doing, and I have no judgment on that. It's perfect too. Then you shift the vibration of what is happening within you. And that is what matters. It is not about what you affect outside of you. It's what is affected inside of you. As this begins to shift, there cannot be any other response than this vibration changes, that vibration changes. If every human being had 1 hour of time in complete and utter silence at the same time, and the God field consciousness of particles of existence of the fabric of all life could come in and be breathed in silence, you would all wake up together of who you really are. And this game would change. If you can look upon your brother or your sister and say, I am that. I don't want it to be true. I could not. I don't. There's a part, my ego does not want to see that. There's some sticky stuff there. Nope, that would never be me. Just soften and say, could that? And if it is at all possible, you have lightened the load and you have set your brother or your sister freer and you have set yourself freer. And then the vibrational frequency all around you begins to change. And that is what is being called up through what you are all seeing and experiencing and considering called the darkness or the shadow, the painful underbelly, the painful underworld. That is stuff that you've all, to a certain extent, hidden from yourself or others or from the world, that the world collectively has hidden from you. These places within, these secrets that you hold, these ways that you do not want to admit to yourself are literally the places that if you go are your liberation. It is the stuff that wakes you up in this consciousness way that we began in the beginning to say that is what matters. But now you are in this phase or this timeline, this part of the projection. How should we say that more than this? So if you dropped in, if you were, and we like to play with this idea because here we are, 12 beings of light come through the physical body of our beloved channel as one voice. Woo, it's a lot to do. We lower the vibrational frequency of that which we are. But if you can imagine that some beings of light that's literally manifested before your eyes right now, some of you even see us, many of you have seen us with our beloved through our beloved channel. And so we thank you, dear ones, for seeing us and acknowledging it. And if there were beings of light, or if there were ones who were colored or had seemingly skin and came down and literally said to you, we are here. And all you have to do is remember that everything you transmute inside of yourself will transmute outside of yourself. And that is the greatest game of all. Would you listen? We are here. And we are legion. And we are light. And that is what you are, dearest ones. You are that which we are. You are in a physical body. You are a part of us. All time, all space. Not just Osairah. You have all of it. And yes, even the family of light known as Osairah. The League of Angels, the Light Quotient, the Divine Masters. Many of you have so many lines and connections, lineages to the many masters. Some of you in certain lifetimes hail very strongly to the Divine Mother in many forms and incarnations of her face. And you feel that in your bones. And why? Because this perfect projection of this exact timeline in what you are calling 2017, this revolution of consciousness, this evolution of consciousness is exactly why you came and dropped down at this time. You call it a life. You say, I was born here. Here's all the history that I have. This is who I've been. This is who I am. This is who I am, Osairah. And we say, well, it is similarly, essentially the same thing. You dropped in, you came, and all of a sudden you're here. And you say, this I want to do. This revolution, evolution in consciousness is what I want to participate in. This is, as some say, the leading edge of all life expansion. This is consciousness evolution happening right before your eyes. And you are it. You are the beings of light. You are the ones. And so we sit before you, moving through the physical body of our beloved channel with so much exuberance and joy and ecstaticness for the fact that you are here. You are here. You have opted. You have taken a physical body. Love that vehicle. Give it the plenty of nutrition. Give it the plenty of the water. Give it the plenty of rest. Give it the plenty of gentleness, of kindness, of nurturance to support that which it is supporting, which is a magnificent essence of light of soul. That is an eternal embodiment of source itself, eternal consciousness of literal creation of life. That is what and who you really are. And you are heavily focused, taking on what you would call a mind body, a consciousness body that is in a body to expand the experience outside of yourself, to mirror it inside of yourself, to give it to others, to play the game together, to raise the consciousness, to shift the reality creation. Now, we see to say to you, too, that timelines, parallel existences, are simultaneously happening. And many of our human friends love to talk about this and don't really understand it, and that's fine. We do our best. And some of it you will get in time as you have actual new experiences with timelines. And so, as you become a multidimensional experiencer, as you become aware that you are not just the physical body of the name of the person and all that you've lived through called your history, when you see that you are all of it, all of the time, and you begin to let that be the cellular amplification, literally breathing your body physical, the heartbeat of you, the light emanation moves through you, and you own that, and you be that, and you take personal responsibility for that. When you do that, dearest ones, you amplify the light quotient on this planet. That is what you came to do, be, experience, and emanate. That is what you are doing by any moment of your pain, by any moment of your looking at the shadow parts, of any moment of seeing where you are stuck, of any moment that there is no stuckness, that there is only expansion. But by your consciousness, you are doing the, quote, work of this third dimension. Please understand, multidimensional being that you are, the work is the fun. Ha! We know they don't like it necessarily. They don't think it's true, but we will say it is. It is so very, very true. The work of it, the ecstaticness and the greatest sorrow of it all of it, the terror and the pleasure, all of it, dear ones. It is the consciousness expanding. It is the awakening. It is the melding and the ways of multidimensional experiences happening through and as you. You are not just one singularity. You are all. You are all. You are allness. You are life and breath and consciousness and love and light of all that ever is and ever will be and ever has been. You are all. And so when you are in your multidimensional new maneuvers, when you are going, well, how do I be my multidimensional self now? How do I expand my multidimensional aspects of being now? Well, you do it by saying, that's right, I'm a multidimensional being of consciousness. How am I expanding today? How is it that I am calling myself back to myself today? How is it that I am a multidimensional experiencer? We would say to you, your meditation will absolutely help that. And in the moments of being present, expand the field. This is something you can actively, we know our human friends love doing. You love lists and you love doings. You say, what can I do, Osairah? Well, your doingness is the beingness. And that's what we always say first. Be the doing. Be this multidimensional self. How do you do the being of the multidimensional self? We say, you bring your consciousness to it. In any given moment, you can be looking into your lover's eyes. You can be making some soup. You can be walking a walk. You can be doing some cleaning. You can be the basics, whatever it is. Bring your full multidimensional self. That's right. I'm a multidimensional being. How do I experience my multidimensional self in this now moment? You can be talking to your boss. You may be making a presentation. You may be doing whatever it is that humans find themselves doing. We would say to you, remember our words. How do I experience multidimensional self in this moment? Which means you plug in just by saying it. Just by saying, I am a multidimensional being. How do I experience that here? Is there more going on here? How do I be present with the field that expands my consciousness in this now moment? How do I be the love that I am? How do I bring the ancient memories into this now moment? How do I give great appreciation for that simple flower and its fragrance? Or when I see the birds chirping or the trees swaying, can I look at those and remember I'm a multidimensional being? How much more can I be in appreciation for that? All of these ways is the aspects of your multidimensional self expanding. The more you do that, the more you amplify that. It becomes more of what you experience. So we are recognizing your conversations in some of you, and we are recognizing the ways in which this moment is moving. We are seeing to say to you that as you move through these days and weeks, take them all just a moment at a time. Be in the presentness as much as possible. Be in a great appreciation for when you see a friend smile sweetly, or a twinkle in the eye, or offer the twinkle in the eye, or be in full gratitude and appreciation for the moment that you are experiencing fresh air, or when you are getting to lay the physical body down. Be in the presentness, and that will expand the multidimensional connection as well. Because as you are so moving through these times of energies that some of you wake up one day here or there and you say, whoa, this is too heavy. What is this heaviness? And it is not always inside of you, and it is not always outside of you. It is always a mirror reflection. It is not just that there is something happening in the world, and it is not just that it's just happening inside of you. It is the blended experience of all of that. And so the only thing you can do is take care of you, right? The only one you have great responsibility here for, personal responsibility here with, is this one. So check in with yourself. Why am I? Is this beingness feeling this way? What is it that needs to go? What needs to be felt? What needs to be really touched in with? What needs to be followed inside the physical body? What is it that needs to be offered to another? How may I get out of myself at times too and be of service? How is it that I can just hang on for this day and know that this too shall pass, and that all is well in the divine right orders of things in the world and the experience of all creation? And yet I don't remember that, but I'm just going to hang on. All of these things are the ways we say to you to assist you. Just do that. Be that. The beingness of consciousness begins the moment you bring yourself back in any moment, any situation. That is the evolution happening through you. Your evolution in consciousness, waking up, is happening through you when you bring yourself to presence. And so in this moment, there is a great understanding that it is, we will say, we are hearing the words. The words come in as trying times. We are hearing this from one of you, and so we will say to you, in these times that feel like they are quite trying and challenging, look at these times and the experience of your world and see beauty and offer love. And when you cannot do that, do it here. Of course, it starts here first. But sometimes when you do it out there, you really do feel it in here. So this is not a separation. That is one thing we are wanting to say. When it feels like trying times, and it is something you say, well, these external experiences are feeling trying, Osairah, we would say, what is it that is trying within you? Look to your inside and your outside as the one match. Look to how it is that you can expand yourself in light. How is it that you can feed the frequency of good? Because as you do that, you will be challenged to let go of that which is not that within yourself. And that is good. That is the way. That is the way of the light. You are going to bring up light and love, and you are going to permeate it throughout all consciousness and give it and offer it and be it and change the grid for it and all of that. And the only way that that happens is when you raise the light, there is shadow that comes too. And you must see it. You must recognize it. You must clear it. You must expand through it. You must allow it to give you its gift too. Make it not bad or wrong. Not judge it. Just be with it. Move it out. Is it time to go? Does that serve you anymore? Let it give you its gift. And as you do that, the transmutation happens. The melting down happens. The transformation happens. And the rising happens. And then the light is brighter here, through you, and on this worldly 3D experience. And you are carrying codes, all of you, for the light of the new way of Earth. You are carrying the codes of the light of the new wave of Earth. Remember that. And where you be, where you go, where you give, where you walk, where you take your body to, drop the codes of light. If you can remember anything from today, it is that the more you drop the codes of light, the more you raise the frequency of consciousness. Yes, the inner work you will have to do, but you came here for it. Keep doing it. You change the world, you change your life by doing that. We say to you all, we are recognizing the closing of this moment because there are many beings who are participating, who are offering their wisdom. Some of this will come through to you all, each individually in different ways. In the next few days, you will hear, see, sense some of support that will be yours particularly. We see that they are, we will say, standing in, even in this moment, for this message to be amplified in your physical world, your experience. You will get the hit, you will get the knowing, you will get the vibration, you will get the sign, you will hear the right thing, you will see the right thing, you will know, you will dream, it will come in, and it will be of assistance from this deep, powerful truth message that is being transmitted to you perfectly, entering the consciousness so that you may expand and accelerate at this time. We say to you, as we are recognizing this as a monthly, as you call it in your timeline, a monthly experience. We don't see it as that. We are coming in one second to the next. And it is so beautiful. We love you so much. And we look forward to it each and every second that we get the experience of it. And we say there is no time where we exist. And here we are with you always. And here it is that we say to you through the physical blood of the channel, of the beloved channel, we say to you, hold firm to those that anchor you. those people physically that anchor you in the light, and those beings of consciousness and your guides, hold firm and fast. Let that be, as our beloved channel has recently said, the fuel of your flight, so that you will remember who you really are. Hold close to those ones to give you the reflection of your truth. And as you do that, dear one, you will feel the empowerment of your soul. You will have more memory of why you have really come. You will feel the upliftment as you keep rising and rising on that mountain until you reach the summit. You are all making your way perfectly. And when many of you come to the summit, it's not game over. It is just the next level embodied. We are here for that part of the journey with you, the embodiment. You love it, you love it, you love it. Accept it, accept it, accept it. We absolutely are with you in it. And we look forward to more, dearest ones. We say to you in this time between what seems to be time in your timeline of when we are here with you now in this moment and what it will be called the next month. Call all aspects of yourself back and remember, I am a divine being of consciousness, and in this divine way, I am expanding. That is simple. Say those things regularly. Simple truths will help to expand your field. We are with you. We look forward to more. We bid you the most loving, magical, expansive, and happy adieu. Hello. Wow. Whew. Sorry. I feel like laughing. Ooh, we are. Hi, guys. Wow. Oh, so blasting you. I want to say that it's coming through a lot. That felt like and is energetically within my being, and the way that I'm sitting right now is feeling so super whoosh, like they just brought some really like pillars, anchors, just really laid some stuff down for you. I'm feeling that through my body and I'm grateful. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Osairah. Thank you, all the many masters. Thank you for, I'm honored and grateful. And in this moment, I say to all of you, I hope it was good. I feel like it was good. It feels like it was a lot. That's what they're saying too. And I look at the card, downloads and understanding. So downloads and understanding, they gave you a lot, I think, of downloads. And I'm hearing that has to, the word is, they're coming, the word is settled. It needs to settle. And we would call that integrate. I like that word, of course, but there's another word that I think that's settle. So they gave you a ton of downloads of information, and here they're saying too, chunks of big chunks. So it's like you may have been hearing. That's right. I'm hearing they're talking a lot still right now, but they gave you a lot, and they would just be streaming a bunch of conversation, but they were giving you very big chunks in those long dialogues. I'm definitely seeing that and hearing that. So, hi, how's everybody? Wow. Thank you. Someone said, thank you, Grace. That's everything I'm going through. And that's nice to know that we're being heard and seen and felt, right? That the reflection from Osairah and our guides and many of the masters and all of it, and our friends and the people we work with, etc. There's a match here, and we're in the right spot, even if it is intense. Thank you. Amazing, powerful, beautiful clarification. Yeah, it's a lot too. I feel that they're saying too, they're whispering right now kind of to my head, right behind me. They're kind of they're wanting to reiterate that it was a lot. That's what they're saying. It was a lot, a lot. And so most of you didn't take in everything. So it's one of those ones to really listen to a number of times. That's so when the recording comes back out, you can always video watch it, but you can also, if I don't know if anybody's ever thought of this, but you can take your phone and you can push record on your phone while you're playing the video sometime, like maybe you're cleaning house or playing the video and listening again. And you can put it on record on your phone, and then you'll have just the audio so that like if you're in your car, you could just play the audio. That's just one way to do it. But yeah, it's they were laying down a whole lot. So I feel like it's big. Very good. Perfect message. Thank you, Grace and Osairah. Thank you, Kathy. Nice to see you. And Tracy said it felt like it was coming in more like a pyramid, not linear, thick with many, many edges. Yeah. So I love the feedback. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. It's so good to know that I'm not just sitting here talking to a screen by myself. But it's great confirmation, and for everybody, because there's, all of you are here and on the replay. It's great to hear other people's experience with how this is met by you and how you receive things. So thank you for that sharing, everybody. So I think that I just want to hold the space with you all today, for you to know from the bottom of my heart that I do this with truly the most intention for love and for healing and for light and for goodness and for transformation. So I'm grateful that you show up and that you're here doing this too, that you're with me and them and you're in your experience, which seems separate from me, but it's not. And so I'm holding this space with so much gratitude and love for you showing up every day and getting through it all and expanding all and waking up, loving each other. So a couple things I want to say. Most of you know this, that there is a workshop this weekend, which is only in a few days, that if you're not coming to and you want to come to, please let me know. Or if you know somebody who wants to come, it's going to be amazing as usual. And lots of Osairah and other things under other wonderfulnesses. And stay tuned. Just pay attention to the emails, because there's some more new stuff starting to get birthed and new offerings. I also am very trying to decide if I'm going to do an 11-11 and a 12-12 in-person group experience. There's some rumblings in my ear, and this has to do with Divine Mother, though. So which Osairah is a part of too. But so there's a lot going on, and it's just always a matter of me getting it out. And so I'm just grateful to you all for being with me and being here. And I look forward to seeing those of you who are coming this weekend so much. And then I just look forward to everybody, all of you who are here now and who are on the replay, to seeing you back in a month for our first Wednesday in December. And then, oh my gosh, we'll be in January of 2018. So enjoy this month. We're right here on the 1st. Enjoy November. Ride the waves. Trust. Be in faith. Remember to transmute. It's all that I am doing myself too. So reach out if you need support. Know that I'm with you. Know that so many are doing the work on this planet just as you are. So, so, so grateful. We're all holding each other. We're all in this circle of light. And so I love you all, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving time and a wonderful November, and ride your golden waves strong and beautiful, because that's what you are. Thank you. I love you all. Talk to you in December. So much love. Bye for now.